Okay, folks, here we go. So this is the moment of truth where I'm going to pack everything into my 50-litre backpack. So if you've watched my other videos, you'll know that the sleeping bag always goes at the bottom. So I push that right in. Now, I have this dromedary bag, which I've never used before. I've also never taken this backpack on a trip. So this is the first go. I'm gonna put that in now once my sleeping bag's in, because it basically goes in this back little pocket, and then the drink tube is going to feed through this little hole here on the left. So that's going to go through there like that. Okay, now that that is in, I need to be a bit careful because it's a cheap one and I'm scared that it might actually, the straw might come out. So then I'm going to put my tent right down at the bottom if I can, beside my sleeping bag. Sorry, there's a lounge going by. So that is tent. Sleeping pad is going to go next to the tent. Squish everything in as far down as it can go. Pillow next to it. The ground sheet for my tent, I'm going to squish next to the pillow there. Okay, so that is great. I also have this silk liner for my sleeping bag. Just because it is so hot tonight, I have a feeling that I probably won't need my -7 rated down bag. So I'm going to take this, which I wouldn't normally take, but this is just an addition because of how hot it's going to be tonight. Okay, now, what I would normally do is I would put my food in the middle and then I would put my clothing bag on top. But because my food has some very fragile items, today I'm actually going to put my clothing bag next and leave the food to go on top. I mean, it's not super heavy because it's only one night of food. So normally I wouldn't do it this way, and I've just got it in a shopping bag. So nothing fancy there. So that all fits actually quite well so far, but we're not finished yet. I am going to take my pack cover even though it's not going to rain, but what I find is that when I leave my pack outside my vestibule, when I put the pack cover around it, it just sort of protects it from any dirt on the ground and also any creepy crawlies from getting in. Not, you know, like airtight or whatever, but it is a handy thing. And I think, like my rain jacket, which I will always take, I think it's just good practice to take your rain cover as well. Sorry, it's super windy. Okay, now, I have talked about not overfilling the hood too much, and let's see, I've got my Toiletries, which is in my Ziploc. It's quite big, and to be kind of honest with you, it's going to be a bit of a tight squeeze in here, but they're not heavy. So if I can get them in there, I'll be very happy. And what I might do in that case, because I think that's going to take up all of the space there, is I'm going to go back to my main compartment and put my first aid kit right at the top here, easy accessible, and also my technology dry bag with my e-reader and all that stuff in it. Headlamp. It's good to have those at the top. If they had a fit in the hood, that would have been wonderful. So that is that stuff. Now we still need to get 3 more liters of water into this pack, and I have not quite figured out how big these side pockets are, but hopefully this is going to fit. So I've got 1 bottle that I'm hoping is going to fit in this side. Yes. Gonna need a bit of a squish down. These side pockets are not super high, so you can't see that there. But what I would look for when you're buying a backpack is something that has much higher straps. I'm gonna have to fiddle with this and probably try and get the strap around that side, because right now that would not be safe to walk with. And then obviously this is gonna go in this side, which I'm gonna have to work on after this video and show you what the result is. And then basically I've also got my camp sandals, which I love. Like a pair of flip-flops will do. These are just Crocs and I love them to death. So I'm gonna put these in these side pockets here. You can put them on the top. anywhere that they fit. They're going to be nice and lightweight. If you do have two straps that come down from the backpack, I usually just, see with this strap, I would normally, if I had two, I would just put it on like this and have it dangling. It doesn't really work with this pack, but I will show you once it's complete how I've done that. And last but not least, this foam pad, which is a bit of a luxury addition that I'm just going to take so I can sit on it, is going to sit under the bungees here, which I'll also show you once it's done. Hope that helps.